Hey everyone, welcome back to another session of our CISSP study group. I'm B-Dubs and I'm excited to dive into these topics with you today. Whether you're working hard to pass the CISSP exam or you're just a nerd about cybersecurity, you're in exactly the right place. I truly appreciate your dedication. It's fantastic to see you all here, and I'm thrilled to be on this journey with you. Our last session, we covered Domain 7, specifically objectives 7.9 through 7.13. If you missed it, don't worry. I've got a playlist to help you catch up. I'll drop the link in chat now so you can watch it later at your own pace. Today we're wrapping up Domain 7. Finally! This domain covers the practical aspects of our day-to-day security operations. Everything from investigations and monitoring to essential security controls. So let's dive in. Today we're covering two key objectives, 7.14, implement and manage physical security, and 7.15, address personnel safety and security concerns. These objectives focus on physical security and personnel safety, practical, real-world topics that directly impact organizations. So why does this matter? Think about these scenarios. A data center breach occurs because someone simply walks in and takes a server, or an employee finds themselves in a dangerous situation during an overseas business trip. These are exactly the types of situations we need to prevent. So grab your monster and let's explore. Let's tackle objective 7.14, implement and manage physical security. This is an important topic you'll see on the exam. Imagine a data center with its security gates, badge readers, and surveillance cameras. That's physical security in action. It's about protecting our tangible assets, like our buildings, servers, equipment, from real-world threats like theft, vandalism, and natural disasters. Now, we covered a lot of physical security back in Domain 3, so consider this a refresher with some new perspectives. Physical security is a key part of our defense in-depth strategy, which is the practice of using multiple security control layers to protect your assets. Think of it like a medieval castle. You've got your moat or the perimeter, walls or our building security, and guards for our access control. Just as a castle needs all these layers to stay secure, your organization needs physical barriers working alongside all of our technical controls, like firewalls and security policies to keep threats at bay. Now, perimeter security controls are our first layer of defense. This, of course, is a critical component in your defense in-depth strategy. These controls protect the outer boundary of your property and act as your first layer of security. When we talk about perimeter defense, there's 4 key elements you need to understand. First, we've got physical barriers. These are your basic but essential fences and gates. Don't forget about bollards, those sturdy posts outside of your buildings. They may look simple, but they're important in preventing vehicle-based attacks. Next up is the high-tech stuff, what we call PDoS, or Perimeter Intrusion Detection and Assessment Systems. Think of this as your facility's nervous system. Your sensors detect movement. The cameras watch every angle, and then alarms alert security when something's not quite right. The third element are the natural barriers. You can use landscaping strategically for security. Water features aren't just decorative, they can help control access points and create natural boundaries. Finally, we can't forget about our human element, our security personnel. Having trained guards and patrol teams is so important. They're your eyes and ears on the ground, responding to situations in ways that technology just can't. All of these elements work together to create a comprehensive perimeter defense. Think about this example. After experiencing an attempted vehicle ramming attack, a facility implemented a layered approach by installing bollards, upgrading to PDoS-enabled fencing, and enhancing security lighting. This comprehensive solution shows how different perimeter controls complement each other to address various threats. Remember, for the CISSP exam, understanding these physical security concepts is crucial. They appear in both Domain 3 and Domain 7. Okay, so what happens if someone gets past our perimeter? That's where our internal security controls come in. Think of these as security zones, with each zone requiring different levels of protection. We use locks, badge access systems, visitor logs, motion detectors, and comprehensive audit trails to protect these different areas. Think about a server room in a high security zone. You wouldn't want just anyone being able to walk right in, so you implement multiple authentication factors here. Maybe you include a badge reader plus a PIN plus a biometric scanner. Each layer adds even more security. Your badge shows what you have, your PIN proves what you know, and your fingerprint confirms who you are. Visitor logs and automated audit trails track every access attempt, creating a detailed record if something goes missing. But what about during emergencies, like power outages or system failures? Smart organizations maintain emergency across procedures, such as backup authentication systems or secure master keys held only by authorized personnel. This should be included in your business continuity and disaster recovery plans that we covered in our last session. Have you ever forgotten your badge and gotten stuck outside? Yeah, it's super frustrating, but it proves that these controls work. They're designed to keep unauthorized people out while letting authorized personnel in, even when things don't go according to plan. So, physical security is all about having multiple layers. Imagine your badge access, which is an internal control, is sitting behind a security fence, which is a perimeter control, protecting a data center. Perimeter controls block threats at the boundary, while internal controls protect your valuable assets that are inside. The important part is that it doesn't work alone. It partners with technical controls like encryption and administrative controls like policies to create a robust defense. You also need regular assessments to identify new threats, thorough documentation of procedures, and well-trained staff who understand these controls. While it's not invincible, this layered approach creates a formidable defense when everything works together in harmony. Now moving on to Objective 7.15, addressing personnel safety and security concerns. This important topic focuses on protecting your organization's most valuable asset, your people. Remember that strong security starts with ensuring the safety of your team. As a CISSP professional, you'll need to understand how to implement comprehensive personnel protection strategies. Now there's 4 critical components here. The first is travel safety. This means keeping your employees protected, whether they're working locally or halfway around the world. This includes protocols for international travel, emergency response plans, and secure communication methods. Next, we have training and awareness, where we focus on building a security-first mindset throughout your organization. You want every employee to understand not just what to do, but why security matters in their daily work. The third component is emergency management. While we hope we never need these plans, when an emergency does strike, whether it's a natural disaster or a security breach, having solid procedures will make all the difference. We'll look at how to prepare for and handle these various types of crises. Finally, we'll cover duress situations, those high-pressure scenarios where someone might be forced to break security protocols under threat. It's important to have systems and procedures in place to handle these sensitive situations. Think about these scenarios. How would you handle an employee being threatened in a foreign country? Or what's your plan when a natural disaster strikes the office? Now let's dive into each component in detail. First up is travel safety. This is a critical aspect of personnel protection. Your responsibility is making sure that employees stay secure, whether they're across town or across the globe. Let's look at the key components here. First, we have our technical controls. We require VPNs for all connections because public Wi-Fi is a hacker's playground. We also make sure our teams have secure communication channels for emergencies and robust device security protocols in place. For administrative controls, we handle the behind-the-scenes elements that keep everything running smoothly. Before anyone boards a plane, they must complete pre-travel security briefings. We make sure they understand local customs and laws in the location they're traveling to. What's acceptable in one country might be forbidden in another. We maintain clear documentation requirements and emergency contact procedures. Finally, we have our support systems. Think of this as your safety net. We provide comprehensive medical coverage for unexpected situations. Travel insurance is important, especially for overseas trips. One of our most valuable resources is our international SOS services. They offer 24/7 support for everything from medical emergencies to security incidents, travel assistance, and, if necessary, emergency evacuation. Now, before any trip, have your employees review the travel security checklist. It should cover everything from data minimization to emergency protocols. Remember that good preparation prevents poor performance. Next up is training and awareness. This is where you arm your people with knowledge. Regular training keeps everyone informed about threats and how to avoid them. The key here is making it relevant. Your developers need secure coding training, while finance teams might focus on fraud prevention. So what's on the syllabus for this training? Beyond basics like spotting phishing scams and incident reporting, we're talking hands-on activities. Run tabletop exercises, security escape rooms, or friendly competitions. Track employee progress with metrics like phishing test success rates and incident reporting improvements. Keep the content fresh with monthly updates on emerging threats. The approach should be to make security positive and habitual. It should become second nature. Reward your teams that achieve their security goals. Celebrate wins in the monthly security newsletter. And gamify learning where possible. When everyone's engaged and motivated, your whole organization levels up. And you can prove it with those meaningful metrics. Now moving on to emergency management. Whether your organization is facing fires, floods, or other emergencies, you need a robust plan to protect your team. Here's what matters. First, having clear documentation. This includes written procedures, updated floor plans with evacuation routes, and emergency contact lists. Every team member should know their role. Next, solid communication. How do you alert everyone? You should have multiple channels ready. This could be text alerts, PA systems, and phone trees. Don't forget special protocols for after hours and remote workers. Finally is regular testing. You need to run those quarterly evacuation drills, practice tabletop scenarios, and test your communication systems. I know these drills might feel like a hassle, but they're what transforms panic and chaos into smooth action when seconds count. Remember to include plans for team members with disabilities too. Everyone needs a clear path to safety. Finally, let's talk about employee duress. This is when someone faces a threat that forces them to act against security protocols. This can range from physical threats like being held at gunpoint to psychological pressure, like blackmail or threats to family members. So how do we prepare for these situations? First, we need technical controls. We implement panic buttons, silent alarms under desks, and duress codes in security systems. For example, an employee can use a specific code word during a conversation or phone call to signal trouble without alerting the threat actor. We layer these with redundant notification methods to make sure the alert reaches our security teams. But having the right tools is just the beginning. The most important element is comprehensive training. The employee acting under duress can't use the technical controls in place if they don't know they exist or don't know how to use them. So, we run regular scenario-based drills with our security teams. Not just theoretical exercises, but simulated real situations where we practice how we would respond. We focus on teaching our team how to stay calm under pressure. This is absolutely critical. In these high-stress situations, your ability to think clearly can make all the difference. We also teach practical stress management techniques. Something as simple as controlled breathing might sound basic, but trust me, it's a game changer during a crisis. For escalation procedures, we work closely with local law enforcement to establish clear protocols. Everyone needs to know exactly who to contact and when. There should be no confusion and no hesitation. We also conduct thorough post-incident reviews. Now, these aren't about pointing fingers. They're about learning and improving for the next time. Every incident, even a minor one, is an opportunity to strengthen our response. Most importantly, train your team to stay level-headed. When under duress, following established procedures saves lives. We practice through roleplay until these responses become second nature. Because in real crisis situations, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall back on your training. Now there's 4 essential pillars of personnel safety. First is prevention, focusing on travel safety to keep our road warriors secure. We're talking VPNs, solid emergency protocols, and those local support networks that have your back when you're halfway around the world. The second pillar is response. This is about training and keeping your team sharp and ready. We run realistic scenarios and make sure everyone stays up to date with regular security updates. Remember that when something happens, you always fall back on your training. Third is protection, which centers on those emergency plans we discussed earlier. It's about having crystal clear evacuation routes and rock-solid communication chains. When seconds count, everyone needs to know exactly what to do and where to go. Finally, there's support. Think of this as your safety net with Duress tools that can save lives. We're talking panic buttons and emergency codes. Multiple layers of protection that give our people options when they need them the most. Bottom line here is that a strong personnel safety program doesn't just protect people, it empowers them to protect themselves and others through awareness, tools, and preparedness. Remember, secure people equals a secure organization. Now let's tie this all together. Objective 7.14, physical security, locks down our assets through perimeter and internal controls. Imagine a fence and badge readers working together to protect a data center. Objective 7.15, personnel safety, keeps our people secure through travel protocols, training programs, emergency procedures, and duress management. These objectives are natural partners. Physical security creates protected spaces, while personnel safety makes sure that people can work confidently within them. Remember, security isn't just about technology or procedures. It's about building interconnected layers of protection that protect both assets and people. This isn't just exam material, it's real-world wisdom. Study hard, tackle those practice questions, and let's crush Domain 7. Now that's it for Objectives 7.14 and 7.15. We've finally completed Domain 7. You're crushing the CISSP journey. Keep that momentum going. If you need to go back and review anything, these recordings stay on YouTube, and I'll add chapters after the stream so you can jump to specific topics. Mastering these concepts is a huge step towards your CISSP certification, and you'll see these topics resurface often. So connect them to real-world scenarios, stay curious, and keep practicing. You're doing fantastic. Now who's ready for the after party? I'm heading to our Study GRC Discord server, CISSP voice channel right now. It's a great place for questions, insights, and connecting with the community. If you're not in the Discord yet, you can visit cissp.brittwhite.io for the Discord link. And don't forget to grab your CISSP role when you join to access all of our study channels. Our next session will be Saturday, June 7th at 3 p.m. US Central Time. We'll dive into our final domain, Domain 8, Exploring Software Development Security. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Discord.